Join me as I turn all of this goodness into a Jack Daniel's cherry barbecue sauce. It's going to be delicious. Hey everybody, it's Paul from Two Bears Homestead. Welcome back to our kitchen. So tonight I'm doing a recipe. We're going to do it together. It's the first time I'm ever doing it, so this is a learning experiment, but it's not really an experiment if you follow the recipe. But we're going to be making a cherry bourbon barbecue sauce, and I'm doing that out of this ball canning book. This is a good reference to have on hand, so I absolutely would recommend you having that on your shelf. But the cherry bourbon barbecue sauce, I have one little hiccup, if you will. I don't have any bourbon. I'm not going to run out and buy bourbon just for this recipe. I'm not a huge bourbon fan. So I know enough about it, in the restaurant setting, because if you remember, I was culinary director in national chains and so forth. One of those national chains was TGI Fridays a number of years ago, back when they were like really cool. So what do you think I'm going to use instead of bourbon? You guessed it, good old Jack to the rescue. So Jack Daniel's has a good smoky flavor to it, so I think it'll go really, really well with the flavor profile that this is going to have. So it's going to be good, I hope. But I'm confident it'll be good. But this is nothing like the Jack Daniel's barbecue sauce from the chain restaurant. It is completely different, and I know this because I know how to make that Jack Daniel's barbecue sauce off the top of my head from scratch. But I will never, ever share that online because it is proprietary information or a proprietary recipe, so it's none of my business to share that. Now, if I'm going to make my own home dinner, game on. But, absolutely never ever share that, and I won't. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to make this, and we're going to use our good old standby. And this is like the party size bottle. I don't even know why we have this big bottle. Clearly, it's lasting a while. So again, Jack Daniel's to the rescue. We are going to be making a Jack Daniel's cherry barbecue sauce tonight. So I think it'll be good, so come along for the ride. The recipe calls for 1 cup of dried cherry, but we're actually doubling the recipe. So it's 2 cups of dried cherry and a total of 2/3 of a cup of Jack Daniel. The recipe calls for this to just kind of be sloshed around, and then you can already see it's kind of, I don't know if you can see it on this video. You can see the liquid is already getting discolored from the cherries. That's what we want. This is going into the microwave for 30 seconds, and then we're going to set it aside, and then we're going to start our stovetop preparations. Okay, in an enamel pot, we have a little bit of olive oil in the bottom pan, and then for the double recipe, it is 2 cups of finely chopped onions. We're going to go ahead and sweat those down. So as the onions are cooked down, about 5 to 7 minutes or so, they look good. And then to that, the recipe calls for a double, it calls for 1 tablespoon of paprika. I'm sorry, 1 teaspoon of paprika, not tablespoon. Holy cow. And then it calls for 2 to 3 cloves of garlic, depending on the size. So I had smaller cloves, so I went ahead and just did 3. So get that in there. Now you don't want to cook this garlic any more than a minute because it is going to burn, and certainly don't want to burn garlic flavor in your barbecue sauce. So just get that in there and let it do its thing. Here we are a minute later. The recipe calls for double up, it calls for 1 cup of apple cider vinegar and 1 cup of tightly packed brown sugar. You need to simmer that until it gets nice and syrupy. That should take a couple of minutes. Okay, we are getting nice and syrupy. Now the recipe calls for, as a double up, 3 cups of tomato sauce. And I'm just using my home canned tomato sauce. I have 3 cups of that ready to go. I'm going to add that right in. Get that in. To this we're going to add in 2 tablespoons dried mustard, again for the double recipe. To this we're going to add in 2 teaspoons of salt, and that's Redmond real salt. And then just a little bit of pepper, just a half a teaspoon, again for the double recipe of pepper, freshly ground pepper. That's it. We just need to let this simmer down for 20 minutes, and then we will continue on. For the double recipe, we need to add in 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce, or as my Uncle Clyde used to say, what's this here sauce? You know, what's this here sauce? So 2 tablespoons of that. We've simmered this for 20 minutes. You can see how it's thickened up. Has a nice texture to it. And now we add the cherries that have been soaked in the Jack Daniels and the liquid. Add it all right in. I want every drop of that goodness. Ooh, that smells amazing. Okay, this is ready to go into the blender. Dummy here forgot to turn the camera on, but I just ran it through the blender. Now we just need to bring it to a boil, and then we'll go ahead and we'll process it up. Okay, so the barbecue sauce is boiling. Just need to boil for a minute or two, just to cook off that alcohol. On the counter here, I am setting up my canning area, and we are going to go ahead and get this canned into half pints. Got my tools, got my vinegar, we're ready to can up. So we're just going to can it, we're going to leave 1/4 inch head space, and then we're going to get it in the canner and process it for 15 minutes. So, but first, as promised, we're going to do a little bit of a taste test. And I went into the refrigerator and got a piece of chicken, or turkey I should say, so I can taste it on what it would taste like on meat as well. Very, very thick. Nice, and it's got a nice thickness to it. I like it. I think it's going to be a win. Let's just hope it tastes as good as it looks. That's interesting. It's a nice barbecue flavor, but it's like a mellow sweetness with a little bit of a heat to it. That's really, really good. That's really, really good. I have visions of this over some baby back ribs. It might be sooner than you think, too. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This is good. This isn't like spicy, like in a slap your mama kind of way, but it's got a nice flavor to it. Definitely take the cherries, a little bit of the smoky heat. Ooh, this is the win. I'm telling you, find that recipe and make it. It is delicious. So I could sit here and do this all night, but let's go ahead and get some canning done. Okay, we are done. The canner is done. Jars are out. You can feel the heat radiating off of them. So it processed, everything processed perfectly. I mean, there was no siphoning. The jars are all popped. I'm very happy with that. This is not a canning how-to video, so if you were hoping for that or expecting that, I'm sorry, I may have disappointed you on that. If you want a canning how-to video, go ahead and drop a comment below. There's a lot more or a lot better canners out there with a lot more experience than I have. I didn't want to do a canning how-to video because I thought it was just a little bit redundant, you know, given the amount of information that's out there. But if you want it from me, let me know and I'll be happy to do that. So the recipe in the Vault book here, this book, the recipe called, or it didn't call, it said it was going to yield, the original recipe was going to yield the 3 jars or 3.5 pints. I doubled it, I got the 6, so I'm very pleased with that. One of the most important things in the canning and also in just homestead cooking in general is you don't want any waste and you don't want any shortfall either. Because if it's shortfall, that means you did something wrong or you overcooked or something like that. So this was spot on, and I'm pleased with that. I'm pleased with the way the recipe turned out. I'm pleased with how I cooked it, because that means I did it right. But also the flavor. The flavor was amazing. Now, no, I did not use the bourbon, and I did use the Jack Daniels, but it was amazing. I can't tell you how amazing it really was. And in case you don't know, it was amazing. So I think this is going to be a huge hit in my family. I think Rob is going to love it. I have family coming into town in a couple of weeks, and funny enough, we're doing ribs. And that's actually at my father's house, so I'll be bringing this up there and we'll be doing this up there. So I think it's going to be a win. So delicious, delicious, delicious. So, you know, Jack Daniels Cherry Barbecue, complete win. So if you know of anybody that would like this recipe, first of all, tell them they have to go online and look at it because it's copyrighted, so I can't share the recipe online. So they have to go find it themselves. But share the video, because I kind of go over it in the video anyway. And also share on your social media. That's one of the best ways you can help my channel, is to share on social media. So I would love it if you did that. I would appreciate it to no end, because we are a growing channel. We are growing in our education of what we're learning here. And I like sharing these experiences with people like you. So please share. And also hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Just let me know that you like what you're doing. Drop a comment below, and whatever your thoughts might be. And that's it. Kind of rambling. Just want to let you know I appreciate you. I appreciate your time, and we thank you very much for being here. And it's 10 to 1 in the morning, so have a great night. Thanks again.